DC 15. Dexterity. It fails. I failed every single saving throw this fight. The flash drive is pulled out of the pocket and put into the waiting hands of one Sarren Elran.
Also, we don't really need you beyond this because, well, if something happens to you, we can always replace you, and then Lucian's gonna...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pantheon City. I'm your Dungeon Master, Joan, joined by, once again, our helpful heroes. Say hello, helpful heroes.
Hello,
Hello.
Guten Tag, helpful heroes.
Hello, everybody. When we last left off, the players found out the one behind this entire insidious plot was staring them in the face the whole time, Sarren Elran, and went down to Rex Orium's headquarters to charge into him and figure out what all is going on. They raided Sarren's home to find that it was completely empty. He's gone. And that is where we left off. So you find yourself sitting outside the empty home of Sarren Elran. All evidence, if it was there, now gone.
Well, it doesn't look like he's here.
Yeah, it seems we've reached a dead end. I am out of ideas for the moment.
I think personally that we have all had a very rough week, kind of one terrible thing to the next. Maybe it would be good to continue our search while resting, reconnecting with those we want. Obviously, we should stay in contact, but we need to pace ourselves a bit. I've been hunting for this man for years. It's not going to work out for us. He's not easy to find. I assume Sarren won't be either, so I think we just go live our lives and continue hunting with those. We can't continue to devote our existences to this.
I agree, Juniper. We've been on a bit of a warpath, threatening a CEO of a company. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. I guess I'll head back to the morgue and prepare the bodies for you, Marilyn. Almost forgot.
Marilyn's gonna say, Tristan, will the bodies be kept at the morgue, or where will they be kept after you prepare them?
Wherever you want them to go. We can release them to you to do as you wish, or we can prepare them for burial, cremation, casket, whatever you need.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Also, if you wish to keep the bodies for an extended period of time, I can cast some spells to keep the tissue from deteriorating. But that's kind of grisly and gruesome. But if you need me to do that, I can certainly.
I would like to do that, in fact.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get back there and make sure to cast a gentle repose. Repose. I don't know how to. I don't know English.
Yeah, I think it's repose.
It's repose.
Great. Good to hear.
Anyone have anything we need to do as a group? Otherwise, I suppose we just split up, and I don't want to say like give up, but we've been just going at it nonstop. I think it's time to take a rest, like Juniper suggested.
I do agree.
Well,
if any of you guys want, just reach out to me.
Yeah, I'm going to be sending you all some flyers. Be sure to keep a lookout for them and post them up everywhere. It's just gonna be like, have you seen this man, Sarren Elren? He's a, you know, chosen of Kronos and very dangerous.
Perhaps we just, instead of saying that he's a chosen of Kronos and he's dangerous, we just say he's missing. Because as far as the public knows, he's just like a, he works for Orm Industries. So we just say like, oh, missing, need him, help us find him. Anyone with information,
Yeah,
please call.
I appreciate that, but I think that we're gonna get a better response if he's actually a threat.
Okay,
And also, I don't want to lie to the people of the city.
that's fair.
Cool.
And like, if anyone needs somewhere to stay, I have plenty of rooms now. To figure out what to do with all that. I have a business to run. I haven't had a legitimate business for such a long time. Oh, so many ideas.
Thanks, Slab, but
Yes.
I'm probably going to go ahead and stay with either one of you guys or my brother. To be honest, I'm not entirely comfortable with living alone right now.
Completely warranted considering what you went through. Well, if you ever need a place, I have a spare room in the shop. If you ever need something, but I think Larb's accommodations are considerably more comfortable than my own.
Can't be
All right,
any
well,
more uncomfortable than a cot in an office.
right, and also, Lucian, if you need the Church of Hades like provides counseling services. If you need anything of that nature, I'll be there too. But I expect you to stop by sometime tomorrow. I can give the corpses to your possession.
Thank you. I shouldn't need counseling services, but I will take the corpses tomorrow.
Okay.
Tristan, I will make sure Lucian finds his way.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know if the city services are going to help him or what the deal is here. When I lost my family, I had things kind of taken care of for me. So I don't know what happens for you. And again,
I'll take care of it, Tristan.
sorry for
I'll
your
take care
loss,
of it.
Marilyn. All right, I'm gonna go. I should get going. It's getting late. Thanks for everything, guys. I'll see you around. Just text me. I'll see a couple of you tomorrow, probably.
All right, bye.
I turn to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta
everyone's
get
splitting
started
up
on all
here.
this work, so I'm gonna go too.
All right. Well, let's first establish like where everybody's going. Tristan is headed back to take care of the bodies at the mortuary. Larb is presumably headed um, to Marvin Biz's previously owned home.
I'm gonna go to the zoo, actually.
You're gonna go to the zoo? Okay.
Yeah.
You go to that zoo. You can afford it now. You can actually afford to pay the fees.
True.
Dr. Levine, Andromeda, and Lucian, I'm not sure where the three of you are headed.
Dr. Levine is going to go stop by the courthouse before going to her brother's home.
Cool.
Andy is going to. They're going to head out, and since the person who's going to pay them apparently is the big bad, they are going to get to some adventuring to try and make some coin to print off all these flyers.
Cool.
Lucian is going to go home.
All right. So, what we're going to do next as part of the story is we're going to have a little bit of a time skip as things change across Pantheon City. We're going to go across to each of our characters as time travels on. We're going to start with Dr. Levine.
Yeah. So I walk up to the
Um,
steps of the courthouse
yeah.
and I ask, "Do you have a form 22C?"
They nod. There's a short process where you hand over a little coin, and she hands over um, a form 22,
22C, yeah.
22C. She slides
Yes.
that across to you and um, "Oh, um, so who's the lucky kid?"
We'll find out. I think it's time in my life that I settle down and become a mother.
Well, I don't I don't really deal with all that. Like I'm just this is a courthouse. But good for you. I'm glad that you're making progress in your life. She kind of just like looks a little awkward. Um Good luck and enjoy your family.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to have one member to replace a bunch of dead people. So yeah. Bye.
She just has this shell shocked look on her face as you as you walk away with your form in hand. Uh, so I know you're also going to visit your brother.
Brother. Yes.
Yes, your brother. Um, so you head over to William's place, um, where he and Holly. You find them, tired, distraught, scared. You open the door. There you are, standing there in all your battered but still alive glory. Immediately, both of them like practically leap on top of you to grab a hold of you. And, thank God you're
Hi.
safe.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Safe. That's
Are you okay?
yeah.
Did you catch the guy? Did you finally?
No.
Oh,
Um. Yeah. This isn't a conversation to have in front of Holly. But hi, Holly. You
hi.
should. Hi. I pick her up, hug her, say, "Why don't you run off? I'm sure Larb might want to like teach you how to grow flowers or do something in the zoo, or you have schoolwork or something."
It's summer right now, so I don't really have schoolwork, but like I can go hang out in the garden for a bit, I guess. I'm not really old enough to be crossing a city to like go meet some guy I've met
Right.
once in at the zoo. But it's okay. I'll go outside for a bit. Okay. I love you, Auntie Juniper.
Love you too, sweetie.
And she goes outside. Um, your brother closes the glass door behind her, and turns to you and says, "How bad is it?"
How bad is what? Um. Well,
The
do
situation. How deep does it go? How thoroughly have we messed up?
is Holly okay?
No, no. I mean, yes, she's fine. Like not even a scratch on her, but like
Good. I didn't quite know what happened after I handed myself over.
I I don't know what happened. That was terrifying. That was the most terrifying thing that's happened in my life. And that guy's still out there. And I'm
I know.
questioning about
He's
whether we should stay in Pantheon City.
um I'm going to be honest with you, William. Um he left the city and destroyed an entire institution, the one I attended. There really is no safe place. You just have to, we're gonna have to stand our ground here. Let me give you the rundown. Yeah, it's bad, really bad. Apparently they're in league with Kronos. Sarren Elrond is apparently the evil one.
Sarren who?
Yeah, Sarren Elrond. Yeah. He was a secretary to Rexorium, but William.
We're getting thrown in circles by a secretary.
Yes. Well, yeah, and another guy.
Okay,
He was working for Virgil.
I suppose that's not entirely
Virgil was,
non-believable. Secretaries have access to a lot of information, a lot of power.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're building a device, and it is all my fault. And now
Okay.
2 of my friends are dead.
Okay.
And oh God,
hold on.
William.
We're gonna stop you right there. Look. It literally cannot be your fault. You're not the one who did whatever happened to your friends. Like, this guy is responsible. This guy is the one.
If
with the
I had
plans.
kept my mind calmer, I shouldn't have let that shake me. If I had kept my mind calmer, they never would have stole the equation, and they never would have killed Marilyn Van Dyke.
But you can't be blamed for that. Like, just about anyone who would have broken in that situation. You're not a soldier. You can't.
I've been through hell. I have seen so much death and pain, and I couldn't withstand like a little torture. What is wrong with me?
Nothing. Nothing is wrong with you. Except maybe the fact that you're concerned about the fact that you couldn't withstand pain and torture. Like, people don't generally withstand that. So, you know what? I can't help you with this. I am completely incapable of helping you with this. Not only is he beyond my level as a threat, I can't help you with this thing right here. This is why we tried to get you into therapy, right?
Yeah, and I think I'm actually going to do that, William. Plans have changed, and I kind of slip the papers across the table to him and say, William, you have one of these. How do you parent a chaotic 12-year-old?
He looks down at the form and he's like, oh, you're going to... He sets the paper down.
You're going to be an uncle.
He sets
under
the
the
paper
most
down
misfortunate of circumstances.
He sets the paper down on the table in front of him, and kind of just slowly looks up at you and says, all right, we're going to need some books. We're going to need to go on DoobTube and check out some videos. We're going to have some long conversations. We're probably going to talk with my kid, and we're going to have this whole conversation. And he just goes off on you, and you start having this like long conversation about the responsibility of childcare late into the night.
Yeah, and while he's doing that, I kind of text Lucian and I say, hey, Lucian, do you want to come over to William's home tonight? Here's the address.
Lucian's gonna like look at it. I don't know what Lucian's doing, right? He's probably just sitting in his dad's room surrounded by evidence.
There's still a blood stain on the floor.
Yeah. I just text, why? Question mark.
That's and I text back, there are some important papers I would like you to consider.
Could you have Andromeda send them? Click.
I think this is an in-person conversation, Lucian.
About? Question mark.
The last couple of days have led me to not like surprises. Send.
Adoption number 2.
Who are you adopting? Good that you're getting a kid. Send. I hope they make you happy. Send.
You. That's all she texts back.
Lucian just texts WT what?
She says, let's be realistic here. She says, just come over. We'll talk. This is too long to explain.
Can you come to my house? Question mark. Send.
Fine. We'll come to your house.
Who's we? Send.
So you and your brother and you bring Holly with you, and you all go over to the Van Dyke household to have what is a very complicated and very personal conversation with each other about adoption papers and like the possibility that you might basically be adopting Lucian as your son. We are gonna skip on over now to what I hope will be a little bit lighter today. Larb, you're going to the zoo, and for the first time, you're going as a paying customer.
Hello. Are there people in line?
Yeah, there's probably a small line.
I pay for all their entry. Here,
People
go.
start
I'll
looking at
take
you
care of
like-
the ticket.
People start looking at you like you're crazy. Like where you getting all this money? Because let's remember, you look like you crawled out of a forest.
I look bad. Never let looks
Like,
deceive you.
You put some coin up, and like the guy's like, oh, okay, tickets for everyone. Starts like passing out the tickets really quickly, making sure that everybody gets one appropriate to them, and soon they're all inside. Your turn comes up in the line. You buy your ticket.
I would
you're
like
into the
to
zoo.
I'd like to speak to your manager, not like your manager for the kiosk or the entry for ticket sales, the one who's in charge of the animals.
Oh, you want to talk to
Or
our
at
zoo
least like
director?
the funding. Yeah. I would greatly appreciate being able to talk to them.
Yeah, sure. We could do that. So he gets one of his unpaid interns to come over. It's like this teenager is just like completely uninterested. He's like, follow me. Kind of guides you back to this administration building, which is normally a staff-only area. You head inside the building. There is an older looking elven woman sitting behind the desk with a bunch of papers, her hair tied up tight, wearing what looks like your like stereotypical beige safari clothes. There's a matching hat sitting on the desk next to her. She looks up and says, "Oh, hello. Didn't have a meeting for you."
Are you the zookeeper, like the one in charge?
Yes, that's me.
I would like to make a considerable donation for the well-being of the animals here.
Oh, well, that's fantastic news. Like how much are we talking?
Well, it depends. I like go around and ask them what they needed and stuff, and like depending on their needs, we would spend as much as we need to.
Wait. You can talk to them.
Yeah,
You can just ask.
He turns into a dire wolf in the office.
Oh,
and then
Well, that's
turns
a
back
horse
into
of
a
a different
human.
color. My goodness. Uh, yes, absolutely. I want. Let's have a walk around the zoo, shall we?
Yes, I have a proposition for you as well later if
Yes.
this is agreeable in terms.
I'd say it's
Uh,
very agreeable.
if any of them want to be free, you set them free.
She looks a little surprised. Well, we're more of a wildlife preserve of sorts, an animal sanctuary. So we do try to return as many of these animals to the wild as possible. Some of them will not survive if released to the wild.
Fair.
Um, so there are some cases in which I'm going to have to say hard no, just because they won't survive. Um,
Okay.
but um, I will be totally fine if you want to speak with the other animals and just talk with them and like figure out what they need, because a lot of these animals, like, it can be very difficult to tell what their needs are. I mean,
Right.
most folks can't talk with them, but if you'd like to come around and just talk with the animals, we would love to have you.
I would like that.
Cool. The two of you walk around the zoo, you talk to all the animals, you learn more about their needs, and donate a rather sizable sum to the zoo to continue with their animal preservation projects. Um,
Um, there, Larb wants to open like if there isn't one existing now, like a desert exhibit
a desert
featuring,
exhibit.
yeah, a little exotic desert exhibit.
Okay. What animals are is he looking to put in this desert exhibit?
Oh, like snakes and scorpions, a giant vulture, perhaps, for no particular reason.
No particular reason, I'm sure. Um, all right, and that becomes your big project for the better part of the next few months.
Yeah, let's go.
Um, cool. So, Andromeda, you are an adventurer. You need to make some coin to support yourself. Um, so I imagine that what you're doing is you're going out and looking for adventure.
Oh, absolutely. Also, I'm going to talk to the Adventuring Guild because I know that they have some leads sometimes, and you know, never do more work than you have to. That's what I always say.
Certainly worth an option. So you head into the adventurer's office to pick up your usual work. A few of these folks have become familiar faces, and you get a wave or two as you head up to the
Jarid.
desk. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. So yeah, you step up to the desk.
Hi there. So sorry to bother you. I'm just curious if you have any open cases that need to be taken on, or any adventures that need going or doing,
Oh yeah,
etc., etc.
we keep a list up over on the shelf here. Here, let me get you access to that. She
Perfect.
reaches up, pulls down a just basically like a huge listing of different jobs that people have posted. It's like on a tablet, and you can like scroll back and forth across it to try and find one, and hooks up with your adventurer card.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that I'm going to spend the next couple of weeks just working some odd jobs, making some money, stashing some potions at Larb's place, and getting these posters around town.
Sure, good call. Um, and before we continue on to to our last two players. Well, all of you are going about your lives, figuring out adoptions, working at flower shops and zoos and universities and adventurers guilds. Um, you're all out and about one day and you get a message from Pollux. And it says, "Turn on the news right now."
Oh boy, here it
Um,
comes.
Yeah, all of you
Looking at my
find
news.
TVs nearby, where there is a press conference happening, and Rex Orium is standing in front of the crowd. Behind him is a massive monitor um, that is currently, of course, displaying his face in all of its glory. Um, he stands up before the crowd in front of the microphone, holds up one hand as if to wait for the crowd to die down so he can speak. "Citizens of Pantheon City, nay, Gracia, when I began running for this prestigious honor, I was under the impression that the competition would be a fair and balanced one. Indeed, despite their vast power and influence, the gods have not made to directly interfere with my campaign. After all, that would look bad on them and undermine the respect they have worked so hard to earn. However, it has been drawn to my attention that the gods have not been interfering directly, but they have found indirect means to influence the campaign, and I believe they may have been influencing and shaping our way of life. I am, of course, talking about champions." The crowd makes a lot of concerned and confused noises at the sudden accusation, but Rex continues. "Now, some of you may feel hurt or confused. Many of us have friends, loved ones, even co-workers who are champions. I, too, had several champions in my employ. Until recently, they attacked me in my own home." Up on the monitor, a clip plays of your encounter with Rex Orium in his office. Your faces are blurred and your voices altered, but it is clearly Rex, and several of you use magical abilities that cause your marks to light up. The audience gasps in shock and horror. "This is merely their attack on me, and recent champion violence has been getting worse." Behind him, images and video clips flash as he talks. A young man assaulted a police officer in the middle of the police station, destroys a window, loots an office, and gets away scot-free. A local business owner accused of crimes he could not have committed and who conveniently gets his entire estate. A champion. Champions vanished into the Athenian archives and came back out with a corpse. The crowd is starting to get angry. You can hear their shocked and enraged cries over the camera. "This abuse of power has gone on too long. No more can we stay idle as those given free rides by the gods dominate us. We must rise above them. A god must no longer lead the divine." The crowd roars in approval. A chant begins. "Rex, Rex, Rex, Rex." After that, the coverage of the events goes into the hands of the press, who start talking about this unprecedented move by Rex Orium. They start talking about, yes, the dangers to regular, normal people presented by champions, especially powerful ones, are quite high. And as a result, champions have always had a lot of influence in the city. Champions are now a threat. As the weeks carry on, attitudes towards champions start to sour. Some of you find yourselves, find people avoiding you in public, not looking your way. A few places will still welcome you. The zoo definitely doesn't turn away Larv's help, and everyone has to access the mortuary. Dr. Levine, you find fewer students showing up to your classes. Andromeda, the work at the Adventurers Guild starts drying up a bit. Some of the adventurers leave Pantheon City in search of greener pastures.
This isn't right.
The world is a darker place for you, as now your marks literally mark you as someone who everybody sees as a threat. Dr. Levine, one day, Holly comes home in tears with several bruises across her face as students had thrown rocks at her, saying, "It's okay, she'll be fine, she's a champion." We're going to...
What school does she go to, real quick? Just for asking for a friend.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Yeah. She goes to the local elementary school.
Holly, how do you feel about homeschooling? I have a wonderful teacher for you.
She kind of says,
Yeah, I go ahead and text Larb and say, "Hey, want to teach my niece? I don't think it's safe for her. She's also a champion of Pan. I was thinking you teach."
Yeah, I definitely can pencil her in. She's not safe. What, did something happen at school?
They tried to stone her.
You start hearing Larb growl in the back of his throat. Okay, I will teach her.
Yes, thank you.
So Larp begins homeschooling Holly, teaching her how to use her abilities, and they end up having a nice relationship as student and teacher, under the watchful eyes of Dr. Levine. Lucian, Tristan has prepared your parents' bodies for you.
Awesome.
Dr. Levine has been
Lucian.
watching over you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Please, go ahead. I was just going to start. So, hey, Lucian, please come in. I have the bodies here for you. I have them in a casket each that could be opened and closed as needed. You're going to have to, I'll have to either come over to your place like once every 7 days. This spell wears off every 10 days, but 7 to be sure in case something happens or I'm unavailable. In my absence, if anything happens to me or I move somewhere, I believe that my assistant, my boss could do the spell for you as well.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just your humble assistant.
Maybe eventually, Solomon. I'm starting to move up, and I hear talk. I mean, despite all this Mark stuff, I've been doing pretty good at what I do. And you're getting old. You say you want to retire soon. Is that correct?
Yes, but I don't want to say it in front of the child.
Oh, Lucian, he's hardly a child. He has the brain of any adult that I've ever met. Matter of fact, he's more brilliant than probably about 90% of the people I know of all ages. So you can say anything you need to in front of him. Anything you can say to me, you can say to him.
Oh, good.
Now, Marilyn, wait, are you Marilyn or Lucian at the moment?
I look like Lucian right now.
You look like Lucian. Okay, so Lucian, do you have a vehicle to accept these, or do I need to transport them? I have a van that I use.
The van would definitely help. I brought a dolly, but considering there's a van, I'll definitely use that.
You were planning on using a dolly to get these to and from your house? Holy goodness. Okay, yeah, let's load them up in the van and go. Let's not waste time.
Okay, great.
And if you notice any like weird like absence of smells around the body, that's normal with this type of smell. It just makes it so there's nothing, basically. Nothing can affect them. So, right.
That's
Well,
good.
if you could help me with this, Solomon, and I load the bodies onto the dolly so we can use the dolly to get them to the car.
Yeah, Solomon helps you with the bodies. You pack them into boxes, so it's a little bit less awkward than folks seeing you carrying two bodies into your house. Um, Especially with the fact that
They
your
have like
neighbors would have
caskets, like
heard
open
gunshots
caskets.
recently. Yeah, open caskets, basically. And like you can put the covers on them as you need to. And you take the bodies home.
Yep.
You have
Oh,
a fair amount of time, Lucian. So what are you doing with your parents?
So Lucian is gonna put their parents on their parents' bed, just have them rest there, and then and then for the moment they're just gonna keep reading all of their dad's notes and investigation stuff, because he said that he had stuff that like he shouldn't have had, like police documents and stuff. So that's what he's gonna be researching.
Yeah, you learned that your dad was awfully close for a long time. Like judging by the patterns, he missed some crucial stuff by just a hair. Um, Either because he just didn't have access to the resources, or because things moved so fast in more recent times, that his investigation, as thorough as it was, wasn't quick enough to catch up to what was going on. Um, you recognize that he has pieced together a bunch of the stolen artifacts, um, several of which he marked peace, peace, peace. Some of them weapons, tools, random household objects. Um, all of them strung together and attached to a harp.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that he hadn't found the rest of the pieces. Um, he did not know um, about the one in the trophy, um, and you can tell that he thought that there was one more piece out there.
Mm-hmm. Which is assumedly the pauldron, like Athena's pauldron, right?
No, actually, that is a completely separate note he has. Um,
Oh.
and he was like he's like there's been activity, there's been talk, there's been research around this thing. Who would want this thing and why? And you see him kind of like piecing together the information. You can tell with your investigative skills, you can tell the exact moment where he realized that there was something even bigger than he thought going on. When he started thinking into Rex Orium, following a very similar line of thought to your own investigations. Um, and then he started clicking these things together, and um, and you can um, and you could see him um, basically making a plan to go find something, to find what he needed. He found whatever piece of evidence it was, um, brought it back, and then he was shot.
Okay. And I assume the evidence was taken.
No,
Oh.
the evidence, as best as you can tell, is those blueprints that he,
Okay.
with his dying breath, handed to you.
And he was looking into Rex Aurum?
He was looking into Rex. Basically, you follow the threads around, and basically the big connection to Rex was like about the orichalcum, and apparently large numbers of it had been moved recently, large amounts, even beyond what Rex usually deals with.
Okay. Do we know if that was like specifically Sarren, or do we know if Rex was involved in that too?
You don't know.
That would be a good thing to know. Lucian's just gonna text the group chat and be like, hey, so I'm gonna go investigate something really quick. If I show up on the news, things went poorly. If nothing's mentioned, then it went well.
After
Dear
that,
Lord.
Andy texts, was that really necessary? We all knew that was the case underneath.
Just wanted to be clear.
Has Lucian decided on those papers yet?
Lucian has not. Lucian just like they're just pinned he has a separate cork board of like aside all the evidence. It just has the adoption papers like pinned, and he's just like, that's a whole thing.
There's one huge board that's covered in like string and pins and all these papers
Exactly.
of different colors, and then one like 3-page document.
Yep, exactly. Both are giving him
Lucian
equal amounts of stress.
I text Lucian and say, well, depending on what your choice is, I guess you'll be like mother, like son.
Lucian just says, Juniper, you're not my mom. Send.
Oh, it's working out. You've
I
already
said-
become his mom.
Lucian shuts
I
the
asked.
Lucian's like, not today. I can't. No, Oh, God. Yeah. Lucian, if there's time, wants to just see if he can just sneak into Orm Industries and just, like, learn that little tidbit. That would be very useful to know.
I will let you attempt to make a stealth check. And
Yes.
I'm going to warn you here that ever since his speech, Rex Orem has significantly beefed up his security. Significantly. So this is going to be a very high DC. I'll be open with you about it. It is a DC 20.
Okay.
I'm gonna text Lucian and say, are you breaking into Orium?
Maybe.
Because I have a
yes.
guess. I'm
And
gonna
I
say,
text him
cool.
in
Do
the
you wanna stop by me
hypothetical.
first so that I can give you some help?
Yes, that would be great.
I also text in a hypothetical. You might want to use your, changeling abilities.
Yes, I might use those.
When you show up to Andy's place, Andy's gonna just give you an invisibility before you head out.
A what? Oh, like
How
a
long does
casting
that last?
invisibility?
An hour.
Okay. It's going to take you a little while to get there while invisible.
Okay.
But,
well, in that case, then I will get him there and then cast the spell.
Deja vu.
Get in there. Okay. Cool. So you have 1 hour of invisibility to work with. I believe that gives you advantage on your stealth checks. This is still a DC 20.
Yes, that is true. Okay. Lucian is going to cast guidance on himself.
Casting a spell ends the effect of invisibility.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, does it?
This is
Does it? I need to know
Yeah,
that.
it
Does it? Does...
Yes,
Okay.
this
it
is
does.
true.
Okay, if that's the
Yeah.
case, so if Andy drops Lucian off, Lucian is going to cast guidance before the invisibility is cast.
Gotta
I'm gonna
stack your
flip the
spells in
stack.
the right order.
Gotta stack your spells.
Okay. Cool. Roll 2d20 plus 7. Hey, wait. Oh, 17 plus 7 is a 24. Plus that guidance, just for
24.
fun.
Plus the guidance, just for fun.
Makes it a 27.
27. Okay. You beat my DC by 5. I should give you a little something
Not too
extra.
bad.
So, you sneak into Orem Industries, and you can tell like this place is on high alert. There's like tons more guards. The place has high walls. Um, there's like security cameras everywhere in places you don't remember seeing them before. There's even a few dogs that you just barely manage to step around before they catch a whiff of your weird, different scent. Um, you slip your way into the records offices, um, and you go looking at who ordered this stuff, who made the call on this stuff. Every single file you find, Sarren Elran, Sarren Elran, Sarren Elran, Sarren Elran, over and over and over again. It seems like this was generally part of his job, and he may have exploited that.
Okay. That's good to know. So, question. Invisibility says the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. Using an item that casts a spell, does that end
Yes,
invisibility?
that counts as
Okay,
casting a spell.
Cool. Okay. And I take it if I uninvisible myself. I have
That'll
advantage
just make it
either
harder
way.
to get out.
Yeah, but will I have to make a separate check to get out, or if I maintain my invisibility, is it the same 27 to like go in and out?
If you drop the invisibility, you have to make a second check to get out,
Okay.
and it will be
Lucian,
the same DC.
Okay, Lucian wants to check records, Sarren's records for any Sarren's records for any communication. Like see where like the numbers like might like kind of like a little decimal falls off, like shipments anywhere or instructions maybe. Trying to like find something about Virgil.
Cool. You're just gonna like search what used to be his desk.
Yes.
Cool. Make me an investigation check.
Cool. I can do that, definitely. Lucian's gonna break his invis and cast guidance. Yeah, he's gonna break it.
All right.
Good luck, Lucian.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you search Sarren's abandoned desk, dropping your invisibility to cast guidance on yourself to give yourself your best chances of finding anything. You search around, and your hand bumps against something sharp inside the desk, and you reach in and you pull it out, and it was the edge of an envelope. Inside is a used order form. The order form confirms the purchase of an antique vase. I think vase is correct. An antique vase, which you recognize from your father's notes as being one of the artifacts with the shards in it.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. Cool.
You also find what was it? It is a correspondence with somebody from the Roaring Springs Oasis. There is a seemingly like thinly veiled discussion on capturing the Apple of Discord that was being studied at Grotarth University, and an interest in willing to pay an awful lot of money in order to get that back, and willing to send recruits to assist with difficulties.
Cool. Okay. That's good to know. Is there a computer nearby?
I'm thinking. There would be a computer nearby. Yes, there would. He would have a computer in his office.
Good to know. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the staff of the Technomancer that Pollux let me keep. Yep. I'm gonna like unplug one of the things and plug in the USB into the thing and attempt to hack Rex Orem Industries.
Okay. This computer isn't like a super mainframe kind of deal. Like you'll get access to like employee emails and records and stuff, records of transports and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you right now that you're not going to find any information you didn't already get from searching the room and the records room.
Okay. If that's the case, is there a camera nearby?
Yes, there are cameras all around.
Awesome. Okay. So, yeah, good to know. Okay. Lucian is going to cast Disguise Self on himself to look like a standard Orem Industries employee. And then, on top of that, he's going to changeling shapeshift to look like his mom. Yeah. Okay. And then they're going to attempt to... Do we think... I assume that we don't want me to sneak into Rex's office, right? I'm asking the party.
It's up to you. We're not there.
Probably.
You do what you want.
I can't stop you if you wanted to.
It's probably... I think it's just Sarren, so I'm going to take what I have and I'm going to dip.
All right. I want you to make a stealth check to get out undetected.
Okay. Can do. Guidance and my armor nets me 28 on my way out, like a ghost.
28. You walk into this facility, grab the information you need, you're out. There's not a single mark of you on a camera, not a fingerprint left on a drawer. Nobody sees you. You're basically a ghost. You slip out effortlessly out onto the streets. And as you do, just for a moment, you sort of realize that, like, Rex kind of has a point. Like, a normal civilian wouldn't be able to do what you just did.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Lucian totally like agrees with Rex. Like Lucian's like, yeah, no, this is awful. The fact that I can do this is terrible. But unfortunately, he's kind of stuck with it. He tried to get rid of it. And there are bigger problems currently at stake than Lucian. So Lucian's gonna head home.
Currently, all right. Lucian heads home. We're going to go to our last member as time continues to pass on. Pantheon City is under a lot of stress. There's a lot of champions many of them are leaving Pantheon City to find other places to live, to work that are safer. A handful of your friends are still sticking around. Jaden finds himself increasingly busy as he gets called out to handle more and more protests as as people rage against the city and against champions. Um, you have um, you have some time to yourself, and I believe, according to some messages you sent me, you had some ideas as to what you wanted to do.
Yes, I did. The first thing I'd like to do when Tristan wakes up in the morning is he wants to open his phone and he wants to check the recent polls in regards to for or against champions in the city of Pantheon City.
The approval of champions is at an all-time low. The numbers have never been this low before.
Tristan gets up and does his usual morning activities and comes downstairs and tries to find bicycles.
Yeah, sure. It's not too long before Bicycle shows up in the morning, as he usually does. Hello, Tristan. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Bicycles, and I go up to him and shake his hand enthusiastically. I was wondering, would it be possible that you could work a little extra today? I think I'm going to be out for a while.
Oh, absolutely. Going to take care of some chores?
Yeah, I have some things to do, especially before the equinox is coming. By the way, how many days until that happens at this point?
It's not the equinox. It's the solstice.
Solstice, excuse me. Wrong thing. Solstice.
Yes. And the solstice is maybe a couple days away.
Couple days.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much for that, and keep up the good work. By the way, how have proceeds been the past month or so, ever since that announcement? Bicycles, have you kept the numbers up?
Well, I've kept the numbers, and I can't say up is a good word. He pulls out the ledger and shows you that the numbers are steadily becoming red.
Well, what can you do? And I thought I did a good job of hiding the fact that I was a champion, but I guess word gets out. At least we still have some regulars, I hope. Juniper comes in occasionally, I assume.
Yes, and Lorben, that student of his, Holly, they come by on occasion. It's rather pleasant. We get to sit and talk about the different types of flowers and how they
Well, of course, they don't
bloom.
They don't pay anything though, right? You don't charge them for their flowers.
Well, I had them offer. Let's be honest,
well.
like your friend Larb is very rich now. It would be nice to have some of that money.
That's fair. Well, I mean, the shop, we're not here to make money. We're trying to just do a good service for the world. I mean, that's kind of what my goal has been. Speaking of which, I have something I need to go take care of. Thanks so much. I'll see you around. And I pat him on the shoulder and leave, jingling the door.
I'll see you when you get back, Tristan.
Bye, bicycles. And as I walk on my way to the university, I want to text everyone in the group and be like, "Hey, does anyone have any leads right now as to what's happening?"
No.
Okay.
Not me.
All right. Well, I text back to everyone. I have an idea. You might not hear from me for a while, or ever again for that matter, but I want to get some information. Have us prepared going into this, into these hours ahead of us. Thanks, everyone. Bye. And he signs off like Tristan. And I make my way to university.
All
And
right.
I am going to the known entrance to the underworld.
All right. You walk up to the entrance to the underworld. You place your hand against the illusory wall and find it to be solid under your touch.
I hesitate for a second, And I try again, like pressing on it, like just see like if anything, if this is just like in my imagination, if it's like another illusion that has been put up.
No, it feels as though someone has made the entrance more difficult to get through, perhaps in an effort to keep people out of the underworld.
I say an explicitive under my breath, and then I like lean up against the world, like and like against the wall, and like put my head up against it. And then as I do so, I slip through the wall, um, not realizing what happened. I stumble and hit the ground beyond the wall. It seems that I have activated a piety ability that I unlocked recently. It's the ability to pass through solid objects for a short period of time. For out of world, letting you guys know what happened. In a world, Christian has no idea what just happened, and he like turns around and presses his hands up against the solid wall and can't go back through. And he kind of like swallows and says, "Well, I guess there's only one way to go now." And he starts making his way into the underworld.
All right. You descend deeper into the underworld. You find, as expected, the boat waiting for you, waiting to be paid its toll.
Right. Hi. Can you remind me what you need again?
Yeah, the boat just needs a silver drachma. It's like one silver.
Easy. I pull that out. Mark off on my character sheet that I'm 1 silver poorer. There we go. Paid up.
Cool. You hop into the boat. Once again, forced to endure the little Wonderland sort of setup, complete with that song that won't get out of your head. You get to the
Tristan's
end,
humming it a little.
There's Charon's gift shop. You could see him in there wearing one of his t-shirts. He kind of waves. Back so soon.
Yep. Hey, I didn't think I'd be back ever, actually. You seen a little black cat recently, by chance?
Not yet, I haven't, but I'm expecting.
That's
one.
good. Good to hear he's still doing good. I don't need anything today, thanks. I got business to attend to.
Are you sure? I could get you a lovely t-shirt.
No, I'm positive. Thank you, though.
Perhaps a commemorative picture?
Nope. I keep like declining as I like walk away. Is he like following me, like asking me questions?
Yeah, he basically like keeps following you until you get up to the door that leads to Hades himself. There is, as always, an eternal line of ghost spirits waiting their turn in line. Cerberus, all 6 of his ears perk up as he sees you coming, and they rush over to you and start licking you with 3 massive tongues.
I'll like try to pet each head equally. Hey, good boy. Can I come in?
Arf, arf. They
I'll
gesture
like,
to
walk
the
through
doorway.
the living entrance.
Yeah, you walk through the entrance and into Hades' office. Hades is not alone. Okay.
Before I enter Hades' office, I'm going to cast a spell on myself. I'm going to touch myself and cast Death Ward. You touch a creature and grant it a measure of protection from death. The first time the target would drop to 0 hit points. As a result of taking damage, the target instead drops to 1 hit point. And this lasts for 8 hours. So I enter into Hades' office. Just a precautionary measure.
Just to be safe.
In case things go bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you walk into Hades' office, and he is there behind his desk as usual. But you can tell he's in a much better mood. He's got a smile on his face. He's working through the paperwork. sitting at the desk next to him, also going through some paperwork, is a beautiful woman dressed in green, her hair lined with flowers and stuff. You recognize her immediately as Persephone.
I will walk up, I guess, somewhat silently and like hope that I'm noticed. If I'm not noticed by either of them, I'll kind of like clear my throat as I get probably about like maybe 15 feet away.
Yeah, they're definitely not paying attention to you. You clear your throat, and Hades looks up, um, checks his watch. You're early.
What do
You
you mean
weren't
I'm
supposed to
early?
die. You weren't supposed to die yet. You're not dead. You should be
No,
dead.
I'm not. Sorry.
You, I,
Not
I
yet, at
made
least.
sure. I made very specifically sure that you would be dead the moment you entered the underworld. How are you still
Uh,
alive?
Beats me. I figured you just it was a kind of a soft warning, not a hard warning that you gave me. But I guess it
No,
appears
no,
it was more of a hard warning.
I was being very literal. I had every intention of making sure you were dead when you entered here. How are you still alive?
Maybe it's fated that I'm not meant to die, as you said. You seem to know when I'm supposed to pass on, so it's not my time yet. Beats me.
Anyway, why
I
are
mean,
you here
I have this
again?
necklace. Actually, now I think about it, I have this necklace, and I like reach in my shirt and try to pull out the necklace.
Yeah,
Um,
you pull out the necklace. The necklace is black, like jet black, and as you pull it out, it crumbles to ash before your very eyes.
oh, well that might have done it. That was supposed to protect me from death, and I guess it did.
Well, there goes that whole thing. Nothing ever seems to be going my way. Oh, don't worry, dear. It's okay. They're just difficult times, and we'll get through them together, just like we always have. Oh, yes, my love. We shall weather these harsh storms. The two of them just sort of like go back and forth for a little while, just, making goo goo eyes at each other and being all romantic.
uh, Hello, Miss. I presume Persephone. How are you?
Oh,
I'm
I'm
Tristan,
doing
by the
quite
way.
fantastic. Tristan, I've heard so much about you. I
Oh,
think
you
you're
must know my
just
father then.
yeah, you're just like a sweet little guy. He talks about you all the time. Did you know that in his wallet he has pictures? Like he folds it out and there's like 50 little pictures into his wallet. I don't even know why he needs a wallet. I think he got the wallet specifically so he could put the pictures in it. It's really
You,
sweet.
you're telling me my dad has like 50 photos of me in his wallet?
Yeah, yeah. Don't
Wow.
parents like
Huh.
sometimes like keep track of, what they he's not able to look at you, but he can look at pictures of you. And her husband looks kind of
That's
grumpy, like he's
really sweet.
messing and getting around the rules. It's not.
Yeah, about that. I actually had some questions about that. But first, there's some more pressing matters. I had sent you a message before about the Titan you have in prison over here, who I hope is still there, and I like try to peek my head
Yeah,
around and see if I can.
he's still there, the jerk. We tore out all that orichalcum. Chiron was very nearly upset until he realized that those weren't the ones being used for his ride.
Well, it's a sacrifice that I'm sure he was willing to make for the betterment of the underworld as a whole, right?
Absolutely not. That is how he gets all of his income.
What about the toll to get in?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. I mean,
Oh,
like it's not
okay.
like
I
the
thought you
gift
meant the
shop
gift
is never
shop.
going to take off. I I did get a
He seems to
shirt.
think so.
I couldn't tell him no. I did get a shirt.
Well, his prices were a little high for me, but seeing that you could make gold just sprout out of the ground, imagine that's not a problem for you. Uh,
Not really. He kind of
Hades,
like casually flicks his fingers and a coin appears. He tosses them through all 5 fingers and then it vanishes.
Hades, I've wanted to talk to you about the deal that my father and you have. Uh, I was wondering if there's anything I could possibly. I'll put it to you first. Is there anything I can do that could allow my father and mother to have visitation time on the surface, or vice versa? I mean, me come down here without you attempting to kill me. It seems like if I didn't have this necklace, I would be dead, a matter of fact, right now.
You would be. You would be, and you should be, and I'm mad that you aren't. But you aren't. So I guess best way would be, you could die. You could just die and come down here and be with your parents, forever. That's cool with me.
Yeah, but let me stop you there. I'm pretty sure I am more useful to you alive, because I've been doing your work for the past, I don't know, year now. I don't know if you've seen, but souls are coming to you much more smoothly, at least from Pantheon City area. I'm
Yeah,
sure
you
Solomon
do
could vouch
good.
for me for that.
You do good work. Look,
And my father's been doing good work for you for millennia, so
the
I think
the
it's only fair that you could
easiest
maybe have some.
look. We signed a contract, and I can't go back on that contract, right? Like there was a deal. The order was put in place. Your safety for his inability to contact you, and the only
But I'm not very
way
safe
I
right
can,
now.
the only
So if
way,
that's,
the
go ahead,
only
please.
way I can think of that he might be able to break that is if he somehow got a higher position.
You can grant him
King
a
of the
higher
gods ought
position.
to do it.
I, my dad. I actually have a different idea. Why don't you run for King of the Gods?
You want me to
I
run
mean,
for King of the Gods?
yeah, you've never done anything wrong. I mean, Zeus, your brother, he gets around, if you know what I mean, and like he's
Don't
the kind of
don't
the
get me
problem.
started on
I
Zeus.
know, yeah, yeah, and like Persephone, you can agree with me that um, that his other brother Poseidon, he's just as bad in the same regards. I
Oh,
don't think the competition is
absolutely.
terribly harsh. Additionally, the only competition you have in Pantheon City, Rexorium, is kind of a jerk. Um, and if he were to be put in a position of power, I think you're going to be a lot more busy down here for a lot more paperwork. So it'd probably be the betterment for the betterment of humankind. As I understand that you actually, somewhere in you, I believe you love humanity, and that you would rather us be happy. So if you were in a higher position of power, perhaps Thanatos, my father, could take over some of your other positions and be promoted to that position of power that you speak of to break that contract.
Look, the problem is that I can't just leave this position. We're talking billions of souls. I don't ever get through them, even with my wife helping me during the winter months. And that's its whole thing on its own. Like, are you prepared to like not have winter? Because if I'm up there, Persephone is going to be with me up there. And
No,
that
but
means
I mean,
that
you can
there's not going to
come
be any
between the
winter
two.
because her mother's not going to be throwing her hissy fits. And I have to deal with the mother-in-law. Like, could Demeter lay off for just a few minutes? Honey, I know, love. She's your mother. But she's terrible to me. And she's terrible to humanity every half the year.
I actually like the winter, and a lot of people do too. We have a really nice ski resort, like right outside the city. Anyways, what if I made an offer similar to my father's? You take this, you run for the position of King of the Gods, or whatever you want to call it, leader of Pantheon of the gods. My father takes on some of your roles, which I'm sure he'd agree to, especially considering he basically sits around until people die and then takes their souls. What if I were to take over my father's responsibilities? I've been growing up my whole life learning about the the boundary between life and death and the beauty of it. I think I'm ready to step beyond.
Kid, I'll tell you what. If I enter this competition and I win, then I'll let you step in and take your daddy's place.
Thank you, Hades. And I'll be
Now,
willing
honestly,
to vouch for
I
you
don't
on the
expect
surface.
to win. I don't have a great reputation, and that Orium guy is causing all kinds of problems. Have you
Well,
seen the
I think I
polls
already have a
lately?
good slogan for you, actually, for your campaign. You could put it on your posters. It's a hashtag Hades did nothing wrong. I mean, honestly, what have you done? The only thing you did is you kidnapped your wife. That was it. But you guys love each other now.
Oh, actually,
Besides that,
that's propaganda usually used to mess with us. We actually
oh,
dated for
that's
millennia.
oh,
Demeter is the one who made up the whole kidnapping story because that's how she saw it. We actually eloped because we knew she wouldn't approve, and Z helped me out
well,
there. But
why don't you get on the news and have the interview and explain this misconception? I think it might be good for your image. Additionally, announce your candidacy. I think you could win over this Rexorium guy, especially considering his only thing he has going for him is money. And guess what? You also have money.
oh, you might have a point. All right.
You know, you could also come back if you want occasionally to run the underworld. You're still the god of death. You're the god of the dead. My father's the god of death. You can always come back every once in a while. You can run, the Pantheon from down here. People can come see you in your office down here. Imagine Zeus having to come to the underworld to talk to you.
Okay, getting Z to finally come down to where the real folks are. That might be.
Yeah, and you can even maybe give a glimpse into the underworld for people that haven't passed away yet. See how great it is down. I mean, like honestly, it.
All right,
I mean, besides the
all
people
right,
that are bad.
all right. You've convinced me. I
Tristan
will
like does
run for
like,
candidacy,
yes.
and I still don't think I'm likely to win, but I'll go and announce my candidacy today.
All right.
We have
Thanks,
we
Hades.
have that deal, right?
Yes, I will shake on it or do whatever you need me to do. I think it is a fair deal, and it's a deal I'm willing to work with. And it'll
Shake
give
a
me the
work.
ability to see my family. So that's what's most important to me. And supporting my friends and family, which I've made along the way. And if I
The
can do
shake will
this,
work.
I can help them. All right. I'll
Put her there.
reach out my hand. I'll shake his hand.
Yeah. You shake hands.
Does it hurt?
It hurts a little, but it's a little hotter and a little stronger than you were probably expecting, but nothing you can't handle. And he won't try anything with Persephone standing right there.
he do the little thing where like he takes your hand and like rubs the knuckles together.
Like makes it as uncomfortable for you as possible, but
all right, well, I best be leaving. Hey, in the meantime, while this deal's in the, in the ether, can I just like not die when I enter the underworld? Is that okay for the time being? If should I need to come back for whatever reason, or do you just want me to stay out? It's cool. I understand. The rules are there for a reason.
I'll allow it within good reason. You better have a good
right.
reason, or I'll incinerate you on the spot.
Thanks, Hades. I should be going. I need to go back to my friends, but first I actually had another favor I needed to ask, if possible.
What is it now?
I can actually handle it myself if you're too busy. I saw how quickly you pulled up files for my other friend. I was hoping to gather some information in regards to the champion of Kronos that I told you about. So there's some people that have been murdered in cold blood before their time by this individual. And I was hoping that I could speak with them.
Yeah, we could do that.
If you could just I could just go to a room with them, or
You got a name?
I don't know how you want to do it. Well, there's one in particular. Her name's Marilyn Van Dyke, and there's some esports players. Just really anyone that's been murdered by an individual named Virgil. I don't know if you have like their cause of death, but Virgil additionally being shot to death by an individual named Sarren would be sufficient as well.
Yeah. So Hades will just set up like a conference room for you, and give you whatever like papers of people to need. He's basically like, you set this in the magic circle, call the spirit to you. You can talk to him, ask him whatever you need. And I'll basically like say that this is your opportunity to gather information. So what kind of information are you looking for from these people?
I'm looking to see if any of them have had a glimpse into where they have their base of operations, where they may be setting up this ritual, a location, a time, if they have the necessary components, that sort of information. Some of these people may have died knowing invaluable stuff, especially Marilyn, considering she was in their possession for such a long period of time. She may have brought secrets to her grave that we need to know. Additionally, I'd talk to her last and ask her if she needs me to tell anything to Lucian.
Sure. So you go through the individuals one by one. The Athenian aces don't know anything. They were paid to get the trophy by any means necessary. That was all. And when the trophy didn't contain the shard of the Harp of Kronos, they were killed by Virgil in a fit of anger. You talk to who else were you going to talk to? The Van Dykes, and was that it?
I think Marilyn mostly. I don't know if Bruce knows anything. I guess I could speak with him, but the Van Dyke. I mean, Marilyn's the one I'm most interested in. I feel she might have the most information.
You talk to Bruce. He's like, "Oh, hey, have you figured out the whole ritual and all that?"
No, we haven't yet. Also, your son is currently homeless. Kind of. It's complicated, but he's in good hands. One of my friends, Juniper, is trying.
Homeless. We left a will.
Oh, we'll have to go look and see if we can find that. Where is it?
Oh, it should be just basically like tells you about the secret compartment in his house that he hid away.
Okay.
Like where he hid away a bunch of important documents. You're like, I'm a bit surprised that Lucian hasn't found it by now, but like I put in a lot of effort to keep some of that stuff safe, and I guess I went a little overboard with it.
He might have found the secret compartment. He has a gun. Like I saw, he had a firearm. Like last time I saw him, and he didn't have that previously.
The one. That's the one.
So I assume he's found the will. I'll have to ask him about that. But yeah, he's doing okay. He actually has your bodies. I mean, yours and your wife's. He's keeping them. I think he intends to try to bring you back at some point.
Well, that's a little worrying.
Do you want him to try to do that? I mean, if you give me like 5 years, I'll be powerful enough to bring people back from the dead. But like that kind of goes against the natural order of things.
I won't deny. I'd like to be back to life and with my son again, even if it takes 5 years. But I don't know. It's a difficult question. Do I want to break the laws of nature? And well, I'm not a philosopher. I'll leave it up to my son.
Yeah, I think we probably should. Well, thank you. You don't have any other information you could possibly give us that would help us bring this jerk to justice that had you assassinated?
Oh, well, do you know what the ritual is for?
I assume it's to bring back Kronos.
I'm probably. From what I found, it's actually a little different. You see, an apple of discord is a mental effect. This isn't like a summoning ritual or a breaking of bonds. It's more like a mass mind thing. But like,
Mass mind thing.
like, don't get me wrong. Um, the Palladium of Athena would widen the range of that, but you'd only get like one building with it. It wouldn't be nearly enough to swing all the votes in someone's favor. You'd have to like amp that up with some serious magical juice.
Well, why do you think they're gathering the harp of Kronos, though? If
Probably
this is
as
a separate.
if I had to guess, I'm assuming it has to do with like a concentration of the power. Maybe they need some way to direct it, and Kronos is a key, or maybe just I don't know. Maybe you need something that like connects to that god and their power that they can use. I don't know. I didn't get that far before they put 6 bullets in my back.
Counted. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It was.
I tried
He was
to.
very aggressive about that.
I tried to bring you back, and I'm sorry I failed. I wasn't strong enough.
I'm not holding that against you, kid. You did your best.
Thanks, Bruce. Your son is all right. He needs some counseling. Doesn't admit it, but other than that, he's all right.
Well, I mean, that was true back when I was still alive, so that's fair. Tell
All
him
right,
I
I'm going to
love
send
him.
you back now. I'm going to speak with your wife. You have a good time. I hope they're treating you right down here. I'm sure you have a nice place.
Absolutely. The Van Dyke residence is a party house.
Good to hear that. All right. Good day.
You send
And
him
I'll-
off.
Bring out Marilyn.
Yeah. You summon Marilyn. And immediately her spirit rushes up to you and she's like, don't let them get to the Umphalos.
Whoa. Hey, I'm Tristan. We haven't met. What is this? Can you say that again? And follows?
Marilyn Van Dyke, don't let them get to the Umphalos.
Follows. Okay. What is this and follows?
Okay, so you know how a lot of mages draw their magic from the world around them, right? Like there's magical ley lines that basically cover the entire planet. The Umphalos is the place where all of those ley lines intersect. It's one big, huge magical hotspot.
Where is it? Do you know?
Yeah, Zeus keeps it underneath Mount Olympus.
How far away is
Like-
that from Pantheon City? Like, I'm asking God, DM,
Um,
this, because I assume I know.
Asking the dungeon master, Mount Olympus is like Pantheon City is literally at the base of Mount Olympus.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, right here.
Somewhere below Mount Olympus is where it's located.
Well-
I don't know how they found it. I don't know how they got to it. I don't know how they're getting past the protections, but they've planned it out. They know where it is. They're getting to it, and I don't know
All
what
right.
they're planning with that kind of magical power. But do not let them have it.
Marilyn, I will try everything we can do to stop this. I need to get this information to your son, but I have another question for you. Do you know where their base of operations are? You were in their captivity for such a long time, and I'm sorry we
never
didn't
had-
get to you in time.
I never had the opportunity. I was blindfolded for much of the time, kept in nondescript locations. I don't
There-
blame you.
I mean,
I-
I blame myself as much as everyone else
You-
does in our.
You shouldn't,
Sure.
and I'm sure my husband told you this as well. You shouldn't blame yourself for our deaths.
Well-
We want folks to move on. We want our son to move on, to be able to heal.
I have something to tell you. He's not exactly moving on. He has your corpses in his house, which I'm keeping fresh for him,
Yes,
keeping them from deteriorating.
that sounds
He
like my
seems,
son.
yeah, he's looking for a way to bring you back. And I told him, like, give 5 years or so, I may be powerful enough to do such a thing, but it goes against the nature of things. So your
Never
husband
the
said we could
clever
leave it
one,
up to
my
him.
son.
Yeah.
I would like to see my son again. I miss
I'm
him
sure that can
dearly.
happen. That can be arranged. I think there's a multitude of ways to do that. Is there anything that I can say to him right now that you think he needs to hear, or that that you just wanted to say that was left unsaid?
Tell him I love him. Tell him that I'm looking out for him in the only way that I can. Um, Tell him to keep Juniper safe and tell her to keep him safe.
Yeah, she wants
Um,
to actually adopt him, but he has yet to accept or deny the adoption request. He needs some counseling, that boy, but
yes,
he's
that was
strong.
true even when I was alive.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I have some information from you about this Amphalos. It seems very time sensitive, so I'm going to go. Thank you so much for your help, and I will reach out to give her a handshake.
She goes out to give you a handshake, and then her hand passes through yours, and oh, still not quite used to that.
Wait, hold on. What if I turn this on, and then I turn on my ability to go through things?
Yeah, to go ghostly, and just for just
Yeah.
a brief instant, you're able to shake her hand. It feels a little
Nice.
weird having your ethereal touch, and someone else's ethereal touch sort of link hands for a brief moment. But you shake, and then the feeling is gone.
All right. Goodbye, Marilyn. We'll take care of Lucian. And I give her a
Goodbye,
little
and
salute.
thank you. And she
All right.
returns to Elysium.
I turn to leave the conference room. I give Hades and Persephone my regards. I give him my phone number in case he needs to contact me with help for his campaign.
Yeah, sure, kid. Whatever. Get out of my office.
Thanks for all your help, Hades. I'll be seeing you around. And I give him a nod, and I go. Make haste back to the world of the living.
All right. Karen offers you a T-shirt on your way back. Offers to have you buy a T-shirt from him, which I assume you turned down.
Yeah, I don't have enough money for that.
Yeah, you return to the land of the living.
Immediately, I tried to create a group call with everyone to let them know what I've discovered.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
This is Tristan. Hi, everyone. I went to the underworld to get information. I spoke with some folks that have passed away, and your parents, Lucian, Marilyn, and Bruce. First, the most important thing is Marilyn wanted me to tell you that she loves you, she's looking out for you, and she wants you to keep Juniper safe. And Juniper, she wants you to do the same for Lucian. It seems she intends you to be together in some form. Anyways,
the adoption papers, how are those going after?
Oh, also, your dad said that there's a will that he had with his secret stuff, including the gun. So you might want to look at that. It might have some information that you need in regards to moving on. Right. Now, the other really important thing is I found out there's some information about our enemies. So they are intending to use something called an apple of discord. It's kind of like a mass mind control wipey thing. I don't know exactly what it does, but it seems that the Harp of Kronos is a conduit for its power. And I think the place we need to look for them is a place called the Amphalos. And it's located underneath Olympus, which conveniently is somewhere in this city. I know that's not much to go off of, but if we can locate this Amphalos, we can locate where they're going to be setting up to perform this ritual.
Well,
And
speaking for myself, I would rather die than have my mind wiped. So let's go do this, and
I don't
we'll
know if it's a
either
mind wipe.
survive.
I didn't say it was a mind wipe, but it has something to do with using Kronos' energy as a conduit. They ripped out the orichalcum around Kronos' cell, so I don't know how he could possibly do anything at this point. But it's better safe than sorry, and we need to put these people to justice. I feel like there was more, but oh yeah, Hades is gonna be running for King of the Gods now. I was able to convince him to do that. And I hope you guys would support him in that. Larb, perhaps some of your funding could be put into his campaign. I doubt he really needs that. He has infinite money, essentially. But I also made an agreement with Hades, so I might not be around forever. I just thought I'd let you guys know. Don't worry about it, though. It's not a big deal.
It's okay, Tristan. None of us are meant to be around forever.
That's true. That's the reason I'm here, I suppose, or my dad.
Hey,
Right.
Tristan,
Yeah.
did Cassandra say anything about me while you were down there?
I didn't see Cassandra. Did I see Cassandra, Joan?
You probably would have seen her setting up the conference room.
Oh,
She
yeah. I
probably
mean, I
waved
saw her.
off.
She didn't say anything to me. I understand she's mute, but she was
Right,
kind
she
of.
can't talk. True. Yeah.
But
Okay.
I should have spoken with her. I mean, at least spoken to her. I could have written things. I had a big whiteboard in there, but I didn't think to do that at the time. I'm sorry, Larb.
That's okay.
But you could contact her now. I mean, I guess you have her number. Don't wait up, man.
Yeah, things got a little weird, but that's okay. I've
Oh,
just been so busy, I haven't had time to text anyone.
oh well, you have time right now while you're on this call if you want, or right afterwards.
Yeah, I'll put you on speakerphone. He just starts texting Cassandra.
You gotten really good with that phone, Larb. That's great. Right, so I think we should meet as soon as possible to discuss our next course of action. Hopefully some other leads we have come through. But we need to find this Amphalos. Your mother, Lucian, was very insistent on it. It was the first thing she said to me. There wasn't even an introduction or anything. It was just she came up to me and said don't let them find the Amphalos. So
We should meet at Lucian's place.
Lucian's place. All right, yeah, I guess we can read the will then, huh? Too.
Yeah, let's read the will. I think before we go, I do have a feeling that this is going to be the most challenging battle of our lives if we go up against it. I would like to, I think we all should settle what we would like to say to people in our lives to accomplish what needs to be done before we go.
Okay, I've already kind of done that because I was expecting maybe not to be able to come back when I went to the underworld.
That is good. Yeah. No, I've texted Destiny where she's fine. Yeah. I mean, at this point, all I have to really is you guys, so let's have at it. See you there. And she hangs up.
All right.
Tristan hangs up,
So begins the search for the Amphalos as the days continue to grow longer and colder. Hades announces his candidacy for leader of the gods to expectedly low numbers. He is doing better than just about any other god in the running, but Rex is still currently the leader. You search and you think and you wonder and you start putting clues together. You know that all of these tools need to be put together for the ritual and they need to be at the Amphalos. You know, Tristan knows from looking into the past that they are doing something on the day of the solstice. You realize first and foremost that that is election day, the day when everybody votes for who they want to be the leader of the gods. You know that the Omphalos is located somewhere underneath Pantheon City. And you start thinking about the orichalcum that you found in Pan Park. Dr. Juniper, you remember that when you were with Sarren down in the sewers, he led you over to wiring along the wall of the sewers. You were frazzled at the time and therefore didn't think about it. But why would there be exposed wires in the sewers?
Oh my gosh. It's under the city. Yeah.
What was that, Juniper?
Yeah, so remember that thing I don't want to talk about that happened like a while ago?
Yeah.
I saw exposed wires. They were orichalcum. I didn't notice at the time, but after, they seem to be there. Down there.
Huh.
Well,
Why
are
would
they
Yeah.
wire
leading
up
to
the
the
city?
Symphalos?
They might be.
Right.
I'm
Well,
an idiot.
since I'm
I
gonna be
didn't realize
around,
it.
I'm gonna be doing my rounds around the city. I might as well just keep my eye out for them, try and find those lines. Thanks for the
Sounds
heads up.
good. Yeah. I do want to also go over what's in the Van Dyke's will with Lucian as well.
Yeah. Lucian's gonna grab the
Yeah.
will that he just didn't notice because he went first.
Okay. To keep it brief, they're leaving everything to Lucian, but also asking that Dr. Levine act as essentially as a guardian and a ward because until he turns 18 and is able to properly manage everything on his own.
I turn to Lucian and I say, and I take the adoption papers off the wall and I hand it to him. And I say, we're going to legally sign these, right?
Lucian takes the papers and rips them up. I don't really need to, considering it's in the will. I don't really have a choice regardless, so hi.
Hi, I guess you're my son.
No, I am your ward, and there is a difference.
At any rate, we're going to skip ahead a little bit forward as you continue your investigations. It is the day of the solstice, and everybody is abuzz, preparing for the big election. The candidates all appear on a stage to announce their, to remind everyone that, hey, I'm running as a candidate. Zeus, Ares, Aphrodite, Hera, Athena, and to everybody's surprise, Hades shows up. There seems to be a lot of buzz, assuming that like he's got something going on. Like why would we vote for him now? And also up there with all of the gods and goddesses is Rex, looking a little bit out of his depth, but surrounded by some of the most powerful beings in existence. And feeling pretty smug about himself to be standing among them, though they don't seem to be paying him too much mind. And it is on this day that your investigations finally bear fruit. Andy, while you head back to the place where the first rally was, remembering that she was in the series, you drop down the manhole, and that's where you find the orichalcum wiring.
Hey, I've been looking for you for a while. Where do you go? I just sort of run my hands along the wall.
Are you going alone?
I'll text everybody, let them know that I found the orichalcum. Hey, everybody meet up at the sewer if you want to come find out where this centerpiece is, the Omphalos.
I'm down.
Lucian heads over.
We'll be there.
Juniper also heads over.
Got it.
All right. You all head over and slip into the sewers with Andromeda. The smell is dank. It is wretched. But you were able to follow your way. Larv is right at home. You follow your way. You follow
Wait.
your way
I have a
along
question.
your
Does Larb have like a
calcum.
suit now?
Yes.
Or is he still in the same outfit he's always been in?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
You follow the orichalcum wiring, and as you go, you start noticing more of them, almost like spider webbing out, getting thicker. You go deeper and deeper, following the path of these wires. You find rotting in the sewers the body of a hydra, dispatched by a swordsman. You can tell that where the heads were burned away. And you soon find yourselves in an open chamber where you can hear a radio talking about the debates as the candidates talk to one another. And you hear the announcer say, "And that's the end of the debate. We will now be moving on very shortly to the voting." And that you see around the area are tons of the members of the Circle of Dante. You see Virgil standing up next to Sarren, who has the palladium placed upon a large circular stone disc. Orichalcum wires run up the palladium, jabbing into and through what looks to be some sort of golden apple, which at the top has an opening to allow something to pierce through. And Sarren is looking at his pocket watch, and he closes it as you enter. "Ah, just in time. You have the last piece we need."
You think you're getting it that easy, though, don't you, Sarren?
One way or another, everything ends here. Or at least it does for you, because I have all the time in the world. And
Ooh, and a reverse card.
with that, we're going to call for initiative.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Andy summons their spectral blade in their hand. Just... It's time, Sarren.
And with that, we are
Juniper
going
also
to
cast
call it.
mage armor on herself.
We are
I don't know
going
if we
to call. No, you don't get the chance to cast beforehand. You didn't cast earlier. So we are going to call an end to this session. We will be back next week for the final episode of Pantheon City, episode 15. That is our big finale. So be there. It's going to be 7 p.m. Mountain District time here, twitch.tv/Boise State. You can catch up on everything by going to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, come watch us live, 7 p.m. MDT, twitch.tv/Boise State. Bronco Tabletop, not Boise State. You can watch Boise State too. We love them. We support them. And they're letting us use their space. So until next week and our final adventure and our final battle, we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.
I hope we don't die.
We all do.